Okay, so here we are back at the bench. Actions in the vise there. This is the PTG bolt that we've been working on that you saw on the lathe a little while ago. I've already made the cuts in the window from here to here, and I've made the cut for the bolt handle back here. As you can see, as the bolt slides in and out, there's a significant amount of play, so it's easy for the bolt to slide back and forth. Basically something you would want in a tactical rifle, even though this guy's basically just shoots off the bench, but so that he has a real smooth bolt that rides back and forth, no problem in the raceway. I do that. Now you get down here to where it goes all the way in and you turn it. Now it's in the lockdown position. There is no play. Well, there's the 1,500, 2,000 play, total play. That means it's got a clearance of 1,000 in any given spot if it was even. Again, take it out, and it's nice and sloppy, and it'll go in and out real easy. All right, now you've seen that part. So now we got to put this handle on here, which I've taken off. So let me take it off. I've cleaned it up very well, but very carefully. I did not want to remove any metal from here and make this not concentric anymore. You want this to be just like it was from the factory. So all I've removed was the silver solder that was on there from the factory. Now, how do I time it? Well, I don't know how other people do it. I didn't go to gunsmithing school. I had to figure this out on my own. I slide the bolt all the way in, turn it to where it would normally lock the locking lugs on the abutments inside. I bring it all the way back. I go ahead and put my handle on here. I'm sorry, not the handle. I go ahead and make sure it's being held back, and I scribe a line right up against this shoulder right here, a very visible line all the way, and I turn it one way, I turn it the other, so that when I pull it out, I have a very visible line that's very close to the shoulder. I didn't want to cut the shoulder back too far. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to be cut to where the handle goes on. Now, while the bolt is in place right there like that, I can see my scribe line from here. The camera can't pick it up, but I can. I can go ahead and let me move this camera around back here so you can see what it is I'm trying to do. Okay. I'm going to, this handle, this part of this handle right here, rides right on this rail right here. So what I want to do is put it right on the line that I have already scribed front to back here, and it's right on the line there. And I want to be able to put about 2,000 shim stock. I can do it visually. If you need to put shim stock, then you do so, between this rail right here and the edge of this handle. And that's where it's going to go. Then I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to grab it with a pair of needle nose pliers here, vice grip needle nose pliers together, and I'm going to pull the whole assembly back, and I'm going to go ahead and scribe where I want this handle to sit very well. I'm going to scribe it really, really well so that I can see it, no questions asked. From there, I'm going to put it in a jig that I'll show you once I get it ready to solder up. Okay, I'll come back with that in a minute. Big fancy setup. Believe it or not, it's holding that handle in there very accurately. This is threaded, so the bolt body is threaded onto there, screwed on. This simple little bolt's holding the handle exactly where I want after a little while of lining it up where I want it. The white stuff is talc that is on the outside of the line where I do not want any silver solder to stick to. I use this ribbon type silver solder from Brownells, Silverloy 355, and what I do is I cut a shape that mimics the handle's footprint, and I sandwich it between the handle and the bolt body. It's a very thin layer of silver solder. I will go ahead and start heating up, and I will add a little bit of silver solder in rod form if I feel I need to around an edge where I see a void I'll look all the way around and make sure I have a seal. If you have a seal, there's no voids. You are not going to have any issues, usually. This stuff right here is heat sink. It's also something you get at Brownells or heat stop. It acts like a heat sink, so the heat does not transfer from this side to this side, protecting the bolt nose, which is a hardened part of the bolt. So I'll go ahead and start this and get it welded on, silver soldered on. I should say not welded on. The fire does not need to be intense. Again, the hardest part to heat up is the thicker part, so start there. Again, the blue tip, if you've never done this before, by the way, don't try this on one of your bolt bodies. Practice silver soldering on things that don't matter. Some guys will go right to it and make everything red hot. Right off the bat. Silver solder does not stick if the surface is too hot. It just runs right off. So I'm trying to do it evenly. I already see it starting to flow. Once it starts to flow, you're basically there. The more of this stuff you put on, the more you will have to clean up later. Now I'm going to get in the way of the camera. Sorry. This is where I'm looking all the way around and ensuring I have a good seal. It will flow towards the heat unless there's too much heat. And like I said, it doesn't flow towards it, it runs away from it. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on a glove. Flip it around. Make sure the underside, which I couldn't see very well, right underneath here, and I got what I want. Too much acetylene there. Remember, it's still red hot there. I see one little spot where I might want it to flow a little better. There it is. Have plenty of material in there. No need to add. I'm going to have to remove some of that on cleanup anyhow. I think it looks good. I'll let her cool off. And we'll get back with you after I clean it up.